Hello Capricorn, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect. This is your reading for the week beginning the 14th of April. Your message this week is autumn is my last chance. I'm reading for a female here, more than likely. And this, I have to say, this does seem like, at least at some point, a third party situation. I think someone has promised you the earth here. And I think you've been waiting for them. And at the same time, I think the person that you've been dealing with is possibly being given the runaround by someone else. Quite possibly. It could be that, or you could be in a same-sex relationship here, or it's not a love reading at all, and there's just two women on the board. I am getting a Jack of Clubs here. Someone who is very prickly, very negative, and someone who's taking a risk. I think they're trying to play two people at the same time, and they've basically come up with nothing. You are coming through still hugely positive. I've got the Dolphin Spirit and the Koi Fish Spirit for you this week, Capricorn. I got both those cards in the Aquarian reading. This and that are true, and there's always enough. I just feel that this is really light-hearted energy. I feel that you are really focusing on the positives, or at least trying to, feeling abundant. But I feel someone has made you a promise here with this ring, a promise of stability with the Ten of Pentacles, a promise of maybe setting up home. Or this could just be that you are getting news this week about a property, or about maybe like renewing a lease on your property. Something to do with your own stability, your property, longevity. But if it's a couple's, I think someone has promised you something here, and they've had something else that they've taken a risk with, that they've worn a mask with, and that's gone up shit creek as well. And I think you've been left waiting. Autumn is my last chance. So yeah, time to stop relying on others for your comfort, warmth and sustenance that only true self-love can bring. Waiting for others to give you what you need will be long and lonely, bone-chilling wait at this time. So look at what you already have, turn to it and feast on it. Learn to love and appreciate the apple in your hands, and save the seeds of self-love and plant them. From this one remaining magical apple comes the gift of wisdom, comes self-love, comes abundance, and comes the knowledge that you are a person who deserves to care for and love your own self. Once you take just one bite of the juicy apple, you will be committing to helping yourself, and then you will be free of the need for approval, shelter, and rescue. There is only one true rescue, and it comes with the miracle of self-life. Go ahead, eat the apple. I keep waiting for help, for hope to come, for all about me is cold. I cannot find what I am looking for, and indeed I can barely remember what it is I was in search of before I got so lost. I am cold and alone, and no one is with me. But I know I have this apple, and when I truly need it, I will eat it, and then all will be well. Almost feels like you're kind of punishing yourself, Capricorn, and it's because you're waiting for someone, and this someone is giving you the runaround. If that's you, please don't do that, because there's been a promise here with this, right? I mean, you could have even been engaged to this person, you know. They could have proposed to you, made plans with you for the future, setting up home together, where you would live. And it seemed really positive and abundant and hopeful. But with the this and that are true, as much as it's very, very friendly, it's almost as if I feel someone has been playing with you a little bit here. What you maybe thought was really solid, had a lot of potential, was real and concrete. I think someone else has really maybe even just been stringing you along. I don't know how they feel about you. I'm not getting any emotion from them that's in any way positive towards anyone. This is someone who is completely struck out. They're coming through. If it is a person, it is the Whip with the fairy godmother in reverse here. I'm going to read it firstly as an individual, because with the Whip, it can be about cycles coming round. It can be arguments. It can be just like really hard work. but I'm going to read it as a person because I felt it would be. And with the fairy godmother in reverse here, this again, I'm getting this feeling that someone's made a promise and they've not upheld it. This is kind of like twisted energy. This is someone who can be really judgmental. This is someone who, if they offer you something, they've already made a mental note of what you're due to repay to them. This is someone who does not give unconditionally. There's strings attached to everything that they have to offer. They're not someone who shares. There's someone who's selfish. There's someone who's greedy. They can literally be a thief in the night. This is someone who would, you know, think being called a heartbreaker was a compliment. But they have absolutely struck out here. There's no two ways about it. Because with the dice, with the gamble, whatever gamble that is, and I think the gamble is that they have had someone else on the side here, someone else that they've probably even been waiting on. They've got the 6 of Wands in reverse and the 10 of Wands in reverse. And this is just abject failure, a lack of success, a complete retreat, failure, and ultimately giving up. With the 10 of Wands in reverse, this is just giving up. This person's energy is the snake spirit and the porcupine in reverse. The porcupine in reverse. Now, firstly, the song that I got through in this, and I don't know, I will try and find it. If I do find it, it will be in the drop-down box below. The lyrics were, I tried to find love in someone else so many times. What's said and what was done, I'll never let you know, and you always know what to say. So this is someone who, you know, I mean, this could be the female I'm reading for, but it could be one of these women that I'm reading for. You'll know your situation, so apply it appropriately. There are 2 women on the board here. The Jack of Clubs is usually a masculine, but if it's not, then one of these women is, you know, guilty of this kind of behaviour, basically. The porcupine spirit in reverse, this is somebody who's defensive. This is somebody who always assumes they're going to be hurt, so they strike first. You know, with the old cobra here, this is someone who's just ready for a fight. This is someone who's going to, you know, who's had probably a really bad experience and they're just waiting for the same thing to repeat, which is very much what the whip is, repeating cycles. So even if you've never harmed this person, they're just going to assume that you are. So they're going to be the ones that strike first. They're going to draw first. That's what the porcupine in reverse is. Is somebody who will hold on to resentment. It's also someone who has a sense of guilt and who's hugely cynical, really. They just expect the worst, and ultimately that's what they get, you know, because they create that outcome themselves. They engineer it. So it may well be that, you know, they had affection for you, they had love for you, they were engaged to you, they had hopes for you, and they've destroyed it because they expected it to turn sour or go bad, or for you to cheat on them or whatever. So they've taken a risk by maybe having someone else on the side here, possibly. That's the mask. That's what's hidden, is the other woman here. Another female here. Someone else. And this is somebody that they waited on, I think, with the 3 of Wands in reverse. This is delays. This is plans falling through. This is setbacks. And with the 4 of Cups, it's feeling disappointment. Feeling that you've missed out. Something didn't go off the ground here. So I don't know if they've been given the runaround by someone else. If this other female was the one wearing the mask and it's not in actual fact that she's hidden. It's that somebody might have had some, you know, some straight up karma here. That the way they've played someone else is ultimately how they've been played. Because I have the Magician at the base of the deck, so maybe a Virgo or a Gemini. But in terms of what they manifest, it's the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. It's just selfishness, basically. This is not somebody who plays fair. This is somebody who, you know, holds grudges, holds a debt, is very selfish. And with the devil, crikey, the devil and the 8 of Cups. So, some just real heavy energy. See, someone is just so fucking negative. It's actually irritating to even do this reading, you know. This is somebody who'll walk away from you to punish you if you haven't given them exactly what they want from you. What can I say? It's saying please don't lose hope, but I don't think it's hope for this person, Capricorn. I think it's the hope that you can look after yourself, that you set your price even higher, because this is not someone who's played fair at all. Advice for Capricorn, please, for the week beginning the 14th of April. Advice for Capricorn. And this other person that they're dealing with, I think this is someone who comes around to them only when they're lonely. I did get other lyrics from another song. I think they might eventually work this out, maybe not. And maybe that's why the devil's there. It's like, you know, it's just a really toxic relationship. But it's someone who, maybe even played them at their own game here. Hold on. Capricorn advice, the week beginning the 14th of April. Capricorn advice. Be brave and honest. The Knight. I'm getting I Can't Feel My Face. What's that song? I can't feel my face when I'm with you. And I like it. I don't know which one that applies to. The Knight. Hang on. The energy of respect is important right now. You are being encouraged to figure out what is important to you and what you stand for. If you're in a space where there's opposition, you're being guided to follow through with integrity, because even if it seems this will slow your progress, your rewards will be much more abundant. You're being surrounded by a light of bravery to help you. And this card also brings justice. If you're longing for justice, please know that the universal energies are working to bring everything back into order, and that you don't need to force anything through with your will. If you have made any mistakes recently, it's important to take ownership of them so that you can align yourself with improving the situation. If you are feeling the need to defend your spiritual path at this time, back down and let it protect you. So do the right thing, and even if it's not the easiest option, and stand for what you know to be right and true. See, I'm not entirely sure who I'm reading for there. There's a number of people on the board, but I hope you're able to apply it to your circumstances, and I hope it's useful, and I hope you have a great week. Look after yourself.